Panther people, what's up? All right, this is episode 3 of the Panther Post. I'm Phil Perkins. Thanks for tuning in for a third straight time. I got to be honest. I'm not expecting much out of this video at all, but I am floored by the amount of people who've been reaching out, whether it's in the comments of the YouTube channel or hitting me up via Twitter. Follow us at Twitter at Panthers Post, and then the number 1 for Killer Cam. And just the communication back and forth, people following back. The dialogue has been awesome, especially now with reaction to my mock drafts. I'm not Daniel Jeremiah. I'm not Mike Mayock. I'm not Mel Kiper Jr. I'm just a dude who loves football, has played football, and loves the Panthers. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the subscriptions. If this is the first time you're watching, check out episode 1 and 2. Like, subscribe, comment. Shout out to QT0, Hampton Howe, Mark, Seeker, Coach P, Antoine Forever, and obviously my brother, Pierce Perkins, who said, "Go Hawks." I told him to get out of here. The NFL draft is less than 2 weeks away. Now, we're not doing no 1-round mock draft, 2, 3. We're going full 7-round mocks in this episode. We're going to do a stay where we're at mock draft, and we're also going to do a get as many assets as we can. Also, again, it is the off season, maybe not for the draft guys and some of the coaches and GMs and such, but it is the off season for the players. And so I've always wondered, I'm always interested in this. They all got social media now. They don't need a TV deal to let us know what they're up to, but I want to check their Instagrams to see what are some of our key players up to this off season. Anything fun, anything really boring, or anything slightly concerning. All right, let's see what DJ Moore is up to. DJ Moore, yep, you're being the wide receiver, you're doing all that stuff. Yeah, it was his birthday, by the way. He's an Aries. Shout out to Aries. DJ chucking the ball with Will Grier. No disrespect to Will Grier. I would trust DJ Moore with the ball over Will Grier. What was that? That had to be easy. 60 yards. And look at him. He knows he's jacked up. He knows he's going to be coming up to Joe Brady and be like, "Hey, Joe, how many times you checked my Instagram? I showed 3 different times in workouts. I'm just chucking the rock." Let's take a look at what our main man, who we missed so much last year, Christian McCaffrey, is up to this offseason. We got Christian with the lizard emoji. So the guy is hovering over the mat. He's doing a lot of gymnastics lately, especially with Jeremy Chin, which is a cool sign. Christian firing up that core, loosening up his hips, as well as his shoulders, while also getting real flexible all the way around. What is the purpose of this? CMC is a huge Bruce Lee guy. And what's a big Bruce Lee saying? Be water, my friend. And he is being a lizard here, but he is making himself malleable to the world around him. He runs between the tackles, right? You got to gain those extra yards, right? You speed up what he's doing there. He's basically gaining extra yards without touching the ground with his body. We're going to timestamp this clip. I guarantee you, sometime in this year, Christian is going to be trying to gain extra yardage, maybe stretching out into the end zone, and they're going to be doing that NBC super zoom at his body to see if any part of him touches the ground. I guarantee you, none of his body is going to be touching the ground because of that exercise himself. Dude is going to be levitating, Dua Lipa style. Jeremy Chin. The dude is going to be a cornerstone of this franchise. Thomas Davis and Greg Olson's retirement ceremony. Who was sitting in the back row watching, looking like he just got out of the gym? Jeremy Chin. Almost like he's putting it out in the universe that he wants that type of career. The Hall of Fame type career. The Ring of Honor type career. He's all work. Just posting videos and photos of him last year. Hopefully to have a second-year bump coming into 2021, 2022. Literal gigantic part of the Panthers defense and team as a whole is Derek Brown. Someone of that size, you don't think he's got to worry about much. But his Instagram would say something else. Derek Brown getting professionally trained to maybe be the successor to Keanu Reeves in John Wick. Shuffling. Look at the agility. This, forget a pro day. This should have been part of his scouting tour. Getting into the NFL. I don't know where he is target practice-wise, but he is shooting the heck out of that hill. And good luck defending all of Charlotte and maybe the Panthers as well against the zombie apocalypse. Moving on, let's talk about the NFL draft, April 29th, Cleveland, Ohio. Panthers have 7 picks after they sent off this year's 6th round to the Jets for Sam Darnold. And it's getting hot and heavy now. Rumors are hot and heavy. I'm seeing a lot more mock drafts now from respected draft analysts, having the Panthers picking up a wide receiver, particularly Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle as well. Looks like people are really taking to heart what Matt Rule said last week when he talked about getting the best player available at 8. All right, we're not going to be doing any trades in this one. We're just going to be sticking and picking at 8:39 and blah, 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 blah. Best player available, according to PFN, is Penei Sewell. Now, lately, you're seeing a lot of people dissect him a little bit, saying that technically he is inferior to Rashawn Slater. But Rashawn Slater showed that he had a little bit more polish in his game in terms of technique and also played tougher competition. So what are we going to do here? I'm going to listen to Daniel Jeremiah. That is one draft nick that I appreciate and that I respect. I'm going Rashawn Slater with the 8th overall pick. Second round, 39th pick. I just rejected a trade from the Saints. Forget him. All right. Terrace Marshall Jr. out of LSU. Let's focus on defense. Eric Stokes out of Georgia or Asante Samuel Jr. I'm almost always going to go for dudes with bloodlines. Now, we're in Toronto right now, and the Toronto Blue Jays are our Major League Baseball team. We got a handful of dudes whose dads played at that next level. We have Vladimir Guerrero Jr., we got Bo Bichette, we got Kevin Biggio, all dudes whose dads played in the majors, and they just know how to do it. And they hit the show in their teens and early 20s, and they knew exactly what to do because they grew up in it. They grew up in ballparks. So I'm going to take Asante Samuel Jr. because he grew up watching his dad not only play in the NFL, but succeed. 73rd pick, 3rd round. Got Elijah Molden as the top cornerback right here, but overall they got Peyton Turner. I don't know if, do we want an edge rusher right now? Okay, so we still have Hunter Long, who kind of like Fiermer out of Penn State, Frymouth, who is not a dynamic athlete. He's just that, I think it was Cam who said it, the reliable white tight end. Hunter Long filling in the gigantic shoes of Greg Olsen. Let's go for it. Let's build this offense. We're in the 4th round now, 113th pick, rejecting that trade offer from the Denver Broncos. Let's go offensive guard. Aaron Banks. I always felt that Notre Dame makes dogs. I've been saying that for the last 2.5, 3 episodes. But I read an article online on NFL.com talking about how this year's offensive line with Notre Dame were just nasty. Aaron Banks, offensive guard, boom. 5th round, 151st pick. Reject that with the San Francisco 49ers. Just saw Lance Zierlein video when he was talking about Austin Watkins out of UAB. He's also a dude with attitude, and that is, I want that attitude. I want that Temple Tough type of attitude that Matt Rule is trying to bring to the Carolina Panthers. So let's go Austin Watkins. Let's continue to build up this offensive line. So what do we got so far? We got Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle. Asante Samuel Jr. at cornerback. We got Hunter Long, Aaron Banks, Austin Watkins. You know what? Let's get a linebacker. Let's pick it up. Let's build out the O-tackle depth. Take a look at what we did. We have Rashawn Slater, number 8. So we got the best player available, minus Sewell, because lately he's been getting a little bit too much dissection. Asante Samuel Jr., bloodlines, doing that, filling that cornerback need. Hunter Long, also filling a need at the tight end position. Austin Watkins, who is an aggressive, dynamic wide receiver, not a small wide receiver either. All right, let's do another one with trades. Saints giving us the most right now to move all the way down to basically the beginning of the 2nd round. We're going to miss all those players, all those names that we're synonymous with right now. 4 picks down with WFT. See what we can get. Jason Owe, the edge rusher from Penn State. The guy's a physical freak. I will go with him. But the Los Angeles Chargers offering us 47 and 77. Yeah, why not? Pat Fiermuth is there at tight end. Pick him up. Boom. All right, so now Green Bay is offering us a 62nd pick and next year's 4th, so we can recoup what we gave the Jets for Sam Darnold. Let's accept that. Oh, wow. This is wild. All right, so Asante Samuel Jr., who we picked last exercise, we didn't even move. We picked him with our 2nd round pick at 39. Now we're at 62, and he's still there. Pick that ass up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks in this 3rd round. Michael Carter out of North Carolina, yeah, Boom. Let's back up Christian McCaffrey. Josh Myers at Ohio State. We need a center to back up Parodies because he is also in his last year of his contract. Pick that up. Out of Northern Iowa, who's getting lots of talk. Also, maybe Kellen Mond. I don't like his throwing motion. Do not like it. Spencer Brown, physical freak. Let's get those freaks. Atlanta? Why not? Talanoa Hufanga. All right. USC. Troy Polamalu. Let's go for it. Accept that from the San Francisco 49ers. Let's see what we got on offense. Right. Deontay Smith is also a guy. So it says here's a 3-year starter at the left tackle position at East Carolina. So keep it home. Accept that from the Falcons. Why not? And accept that from the Broncos. I'm just accepting everything. Cade Johnson, small school, South Dakota State. Prove yourself. Chuba Hubbard, Canadian. Pick him up. Victor Dimukije. Oh no, Divine Diablo. Sick. We need a safety. Let Jeremy Chin roam as much as he wants. Jack Anderson with a guard from Texas Tech. So we're just throwing darts, people. We're just throwing darts. See what hits. Colorado, the Rams. Now you're a Panther. This was ridiculous. How many picks did we end up getting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we doubled our picks. 7 to 14. Moved all the way down to the end of the first round. Still got Pat Frymouth and Asante Samuel Jr. 1-2 punch Christian McCaffrey and Michael Carter. Build up that offensive line late. It is a deep draft for offensive line, especially offensive tackle. But you got Josh Myers, Spencer Brown, later on Deontay Smith, Cade Johnson as a slot receiver, Chuba Hubbard, Canadian. I just had to do it. I'm sorry. Build those trenches. Not only protect your quarterback, unlike Russell, and also build that defensive line as well. Make life easier for the secondary. So that's it for us for this episode of Panthers Post. Again, I'm Phil Perkins. Thanks for watching this far. If you obviously got this far, you must kind of dig it, right? So like the channel, subscribe, comment. I'm loving the back and forth that we're picking up so far. I know I just kind of started out by saying this community is great, but it really is a community that I knew nothing about before. It was always about Twitter and obviously tailgates with Roaring Riot. But this YouTube Panther community is awesome. So continue to watch. We're going to do a lot more fun stuff as the draft approaches quickly. I'm going to try to do one video a week, maybe a little bit more as we get closer to the draft. If there are some spontaneous transactions a la picking up Sheldon Richardson or Maurice Hurst, we'll weigh in on that. Maybe stack up a couple mock drafts as well. Again, thanks for watching. See you soon.